Hey guys, it's Aoife, and in today's video I'm talking to you all about teacher salaries over here in the UAE, a big question that I know a lot of you guys want answered. So no further ado, let's get into it. So salaries over here vary massively, and they can range anywhere between like 4,000 dirhams, which is like super low, all the way up to like 21 or 22,000 dirhams, which is like a really good teacher salary. But a lot of these teacher salaries are very much dependent on the school that you're actually applying for. And there's loads of other factors that will actually determine your salary here in the UAE. So that is what we're going to go through in the next part of the video. So over here, there are both government and private international schools, and typically teachers in government schools tend to earn a higher salary than those of their private school counterparts. Over the years, like teachers in these government schools have definitely earned salaries towards the higher end of the pay scale, and some of these salaries can literally go up to like 21 or 22,000 dirhams per month. So I definitely think there is a link between school ratings and teacher salaries. Like for example, I know a lot of people who have been working in outstanding schools over the years, and their salaries always seem to be a lot greater than those who have actually just been working in good or acceptable schools. Each year, schools are actually given a rating by the Education Authority in each of the different emirates. So for example, here in Dubai, the Education Authority is called the KHDA, and in Abu Dhabi, the Education Authority is called ADEC. But to be honest, I can actually only talk about like how the whole KHDA inspection works because I've only ever worked in Dubai schools. So usually these inspections by the KHDA can last for like up to a week, and they're fairly intense weeks, as you can imagine, but they are structured around like 6 different performance standards, and then once the inspection is over, they give an overall rating to the school based on these following standards. So if you do want to check out the ratings of the schools, definitely go to a website called schoolscompare.com, which I did mention in like a previous video. And I actually came across a new website. I don't know, is it new, but it was new to me. And that is whichschooladvisor.com. And again, it just shows you all the different ratings of the schools, and also gives you like a really good idea of like the fees for these schools per year as well. So again, just to wrap things up, because I feel like I've gone off on a massive tangent on this one, but typically in schools that have like been given ratings of very good and outstanding over a couple of years, they do tend to pay their teachers better salaries in comparison to schools that have like gotten ratings of like good or acceptable over a couple of years. So across the country, there are over like 14 different types of curriculums that are available, and here they are. So as I mentioned before, like government schools do tend to pay out higher salaries to their teachers in comparison to teachers in private international schools. And in these government schools, they actually follow a curriculum called the MOE curriculum. So for the next point I'm making is just kind of like based on my experience and like what I've heard over the last couple of years from teachers. And that is like that British schools do seem to like pay out a small bit more money in comparison to like other schools who are offering different curriculums. I think one of the big like factors in that is that there's just such a massive demand for like British curriculum schools over here as well, and they just literally want the best quality teachers possible working in these schools. So guys, this is a pretty obvious one, but the more years of experience that you have, the greater your salary will be as well. Qualifications can also determine your salary. Like for example, if you have like a master's or a PhD, you could expect to earn a greater salary than those who just have like a bachelor's or a postgrad in education. So guys, in particular, I'm going to be talking about British curriculum schools because like a huge majority of schools over here are actually British curriculum schools. And the salaries in these schools do vary quite a bit from school to school as well. But typically, if you have, let's say, like up to 2 years experience, you could expect to earn anywhere between like 9,000 dirhams and 11,000 dirhams. And that will include free accommodation and flight allowance as well. So if you are applying for like British curriculum schools, you could expect to earn anywhere between like 9,000 dirhams and like 17,000 dirhams. dirhams. But again, this is all like dependent on like how much experience you have, like your qualifications, and also just like the school that you're applying for as well. So like I mentioned before about like school ratings, if you're applying for a job, let's say in an outstanding school, you're probably going to get a higher salary than those who are applying for jobs in acceptable or good British curriculum schools. So also like during the height of the pandemic, a lot of like private international schools did cut teacher salaries when schools started like teaching online. But thankfully, since like most of us are back in the classroom now, salaries have rebounded, and I've actually read a few articles online saying the same. So that is like really good news as well. So like over the years, it's always been known that like government schools always tend to pay out their teachers a higher salary than their like private school counterparts. So for example, like a teacher in a government school could earn anywhere between, let's say, 12,000 dirhams all the way up to like 21 or 22,000 dirhams. And again, that would include free accommodation and flight allowance as well. But over the last couple of months, I definitely have heard that like in some government schools, salaries have gone down from, let's say, the typical 21 or 22,000 dirhams to like 16 or 17,000 dirhams in some subject areas. I've actually never worked in a government school before, so I definitely don't have all the information or the ins and outs about these schools. However, I do have a friend called Quiva who is another Irish teacher, but she's living down in Abu Dhabi, and she has been working in a government school, I think with like the last like 5 years. So if you're interested in finding out more information about government schools, definitely go and check out her Instagram. She is like a wealth of knowledge when it comes to like education and travel, and she's also just like really lovely as well. So if you have any questions, I'm sure she'll be able to answer them for you. And guys, that is the end of the video. I really hope you found it helpful, and I just really hope you're like enjoying this series so far. I'm actually loving it, and I'm loving doing all of these videos every single week, and I just really hope that you're learning a lot from it as well. So as always, if you have any questions, just DM me on Instagram at @AoifeCliffordX, or just leave me a comment in the comment section down below. And if there's any other videos that you would like to see as part of this series, just let me know, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye.